Hello everyone. So welcome to the channel of RD Automation Learning. In this video, we will be discussing about the signs that you must identify at a workplace and you should take the decision of leaving that particular organization or the company timely, right? So which are the very important signs or the signals that you need to identify when you get from an IT company and you know that you need to leave. So there are few of the red signals that we will discuss in this particular video, which an employee must understand and they must act accordingly before it gets too late, right? So these days, if you will see, many of the people got laid off, many of the cost cutting things are happening, but we get the responses from the subscribers that we didn't expect like this to happen. We were not having this thing in the dilemma that this also could happen, that the management will take this decision, but the management does take this kind of decision, and it is you who are responsible for not identifying the signals which are given to you at a right time, right? So let's deep dive into this particular discussion. But before that, if you're watching this video for the very first time, then please do hit like, share, and subscribe our channel, because these all content is uploaded for free on the YouTube channel. So let's see few of the things. So the very first thing is a sweet trap. Now, what does sweet trap means? So it means that let's say you are going to get appraisal in October, but your manager or your leader or to the reporting manager, reporting authority, he's telling that they will be giving you that particular appraisal next year. You're not eligible for this year, despite you have worked a lot, despite you have given your 100%. You have all those things in the data with you, that when these releases happen, you were a part of the testing and that none of things got reopened. So such kind of data, if you have, then that is considered as a sweet trap. So the reporting authority is just giving you a kind of a lollipop that you need to take for the next year, right? Which is not good, and you should move on. The next thing is role has been shifted. So many a times we hear from the subscribers that I was doing automation testing, but all of a sudden I was put into the support kind of a role. I was into the manual testing, but I was moved into the tech kind of a role, tech support, and I have to work in night shifts. So again, this kind of things are one of the trap, one of the signal that you should identify, that the company no longer needs you. Because see, if it's a tech support role, how will it help you in gaining the experience with respect to software testing? Are you getting this particular point? You need to work in testing for some particular time period, for some particular time frame. Then only you would be getting rich with respect to experience, with respect to knowledge in the software testing. If you are being moved to the support, so that is a degraded role, right? In support, you will have to answer the queries of the clients, you will have to answer the queries of the products that you have sold. It depends on various kind of support role, and support cannot be linked with the testing. Okay, if you have worked in the support and you are trying to reproduce the bugs that the client was getting, so that is a part of the testing again. But it depends on what kind of support work you have been shifted to. And just imagine the condition that you were hired for a manual tester, but now you're working in a night shift, answering those calls, receiving those calls, doing all those support kind of a work. So that again is not a good or a positive thing that is happening with you in an organization. So you should move on. The third thing that I am recently hearing from many of the people who are working in good MNC companies, that the project is about to end and they will be on bench. This assignment got over, this task is about to end by the month of February and will be moved on bench. Why you are being moved on bench? Is there not any other project in that particular company or organization? It's one of the best MNC companies, but still, why are you being moved to the bench? There are so many employees. Are all the employees moved to bench? No, that's not the case, right? But why you are being put on bench? So that means somewhere they are not happy with your work. Somewhere they feel your skill set, your knowledge level is not updated. So what you should do is you should have a word with the HRs. You should have a word with your reporting managers, that why this kind of decision has been taken, because on bench you are not going to real time work on anything. And trust me, if from bench you will be moved to, you will be trying to switch to other companies, you will be giving interviews. So how you would be able to tell that what actually you are working? Because you cannot tell to the another company that you are on bench, right? It is not at all a good impression. It does not gives a good impression on the other company that you are on bench. So how will you describe your real time projects? So that's again a problem in the, not only in the interviews, but you will not be able to do the give the productivity also, because you will be on bench for some particular time period, so you might be losing your skills. So it is very important that you should not be moved on bench. You should be working full time. And if you are moved on bench, let's say if there is no other option with you, then keep revisiting all those testing concepts, tools related to technologies related to the software testing, so that it helps you, it supports you when you are trying to switch to the other company. Third point is natural friction with the management. Now, many of the people, many of the employees, if you will see, they will have some kind of friction with their leaders. They will have some friction with their managers, right? So, irrespective of what good work they might be doing, but if you have such kind of friction, such kind of arguments with your reporting authorities, then definitely you should move on. Because if you don't move on at the right time, then they are the ones who might create an issues, who might create a problems with you during the exit criteria, during your exit time as well. So it is very important that you move on at the right time. Not recognizing new technologies, tools in the market. Now, let's say you are working in some XYZ company, okay, and the tools and technologies that are being used over there are outdated, but it's a service-based company. So they are forced to use it because the client is not habituated, client is not okay with working on the new tools and technologies, right? Because that will include some kind of a ramp up period, that will include some kind of investment, that would again include some kind of time investment in terms of resources and sometimes of people training, right? You have to shift from old tool to new tool, but that organization is not supporting. So again, it's not a good thing that is happening within the organization. The organization or the companies, they should be able to convince their clients, their customers, stakeholders to switch to the new tools and technologies. Because if you will see the trend, it is such like every time a new tools are being launched, and if they are good enough, then they should be taken into the projects. They should be utilized smartly into the project so as to save time and money behind the projects. So you should always see that the new technologies, new tools are being used in the projects in which you are working or within your organization. The last point is the work is too less. So let's say if you are an individual who is being paid at a very high amount, right? But work is too less. You're not being assigned that much of task. You're not being assigned that much of work. You feel you are working for 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours a day, and you are done. Sign off, dust it. So that also can create a trigger for your layoff, because today or sometime later, the company, the organization will come to know that this particular individual is not having that much amount of work. So they will ask you to leave. And then you will have to work on your expenses. You will have to work on your salaries and your financial things and all those things. So make sure that you are taking care of all these things and you are not getting carried on with the less amount of work. Ensure that you have proper amount of work. If your work is less, then you can have a word with your manager, with your reporting authority, that right now my work is less. Can you assign me some other task? Can you assign me some other deliverables which I can do? So the management will be happy with such thing, and they will also give you a good appraisal during that particular time period or at the end of the year when you are about to get. So this will give a positive impression on the, this will leave a positive impression on the management itself, right? So that's it for this video. We highlighted few of the red signals that an employee needs to identify during their particular work at their workplace, in their organization, in their companies when they are working. to avoid getting layoff, and they need to take their immediate action. They need to have some backup plan if such things are happening within your company or within your organization, right? So thank you so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for more updates.